Good coffee. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Tea Fun. I am Andrew, your guide through Modern, and today we have I'm going to be testing or playing, I guess, one of the more interesting decks that I saw from last weekend's Star City Games Classic. Came in 11th place, and by now I think most people are familiar with the Hollow One builds in Modern, but you know, if I see a Temur deck, I'm probably gonna think about playing it, and I'm definitely playing this one. So it's a usual Hollow One deck, splashing blue, I suppose, just for Thought Scours and Charter Course's main deck. Sideboard, we've got Stubborn Denial, but that's about it. The neat thing about Charter Course and Thought Scour is that it's very on theme for what the deck wants to be doing. Which is getting Vengevines into the graveyard. Drawing cards is good. Charter Course actually synergizes more with Hollow One because you do get a discard. Charter Course is essentially a 2-mana Faithless Looting a lot of the time. Sure, we can actually use it to draw cards, and it's drawing cards within this deck is actually surprisingly good. You get to I suppose card advantage drawing cards because you get to draw cards with Faithless Looting, but having access to just something simple like Charter Course really kind of changes the complexion of this deck from being one that's 100% kind of all in. And maybe that's a bit of an unfair characterization, but there are times where if your opponent can deal, the easiest way to beat this deck, I think, is to weather that initial storm, and then make things kind of just go from there. And Charter Course really helps you reload, which I think is something this deck is missing. And it might even be that we should be running more Charter Courses since we're splashing blue. It's a very light blue splash. This is essentially just the normal Temur Hollow One deck with some extra blue cards. And I think Stubborn Denial out of the board is very good in a lot of matchups. So I think the blue splash is worth it. But you do lose a little bit of the explosion. We're not quite as all in as the other Hollow One list, especially just the classic almost mono red one. The red black one is very, very fast with Goblin Lore. We're not running Goblin Lore, we're running Cathartic Reunion. But yeah, that's kind of where we're at. These spells are, I think, worth the inclusion, and they add a new wrinkle to the list. Like at minimum, you're going to surprise someone's post board with Stubborn Denial. And Stubborn Denial, I think, as we've all learned since Death Shadows become big, is a very good Magic card. Changes I made from the classic list. I like Ravenous Trap over the they were running Leyline of the Void, and I'm running Blood Moon instead of Hazoret. I'm not sure. This should probably be Hazoret, but I like Blood Moon in decks like these. It's just a way to kind of mise out some wins against the 3-color control decks that are kind of difficult for us, especially post board. I mean, Hazoret is good too, but Path to Exile is a card, so I want to test this out at least. Oh, and another thing, they were running 2 roasts and in the board, and I just think Lightning Axe is way better than roast. I don't know why, and I'm not 100% like. What I do with these videos is I kind of pick up decks I find interesting, and I play them for both my edification, your edification, and your entertainment. So like, I don't play decks necessarily to what's the word? I'm not gonna be like grinding a decks day in and day out, or become the world-renowned leader in Temur Hollow One. Like, someone who plays this deck might be able to tell you why they run Roast over Lightning Axe. I just think Lightning Axe synergizes so well with what we're trying to do with this deck, and it's instant speed. It's like the downside is something we love, so why not play it? Like, we can even bin Flamewake Phoenixes. Like, I think Lightning Axe is just straight up better than Roast in this deck. I could be wrong. I mean, we even have freaking Become Immense we want to fill the graveyard with. Like, it seems like a no-brainer, but the fact that the original pilot of this deck wasn't running them kind of gave me pause. But I think this is one of those trust your instincts situations, and I think Lightning Axe is good. I think Lightning Axe is worthy. If you were 100% convinced you were in a creature-based metagame, I think Lightning Axe is main deckable in something like this. I guess we should give a shout out to who it was, Julian Grace Martin. Thank you for your list. We'll get there eventually, guys. We got it. Let's get into some games. Editing wise, so the first match we played was against somebody who literally just started playing Magic Online. So I think we're gonna cut that one. I think we have cut that one. So now this is the first match, quote unquote. We played against red white cards. You find cards your little brother would make because they didn't have access to any of the. I'm sure they had access to whatever Magic Online gives them, plus whatever packs they might have opened. Because there was a lot of Rivals of Ixalan stuff. Sarah Angel, Shivan Dragon. It was awesome. It was great. It was a fun time. We obviously demolished them, but it was still fun. Putting them in the right direction with regards to how to play Magic Online and bots and all that stuff. Just the Magic Online economy. And told them they could get in touch with me if they ever needed. So it's good to pay it forward. In Magic, and I'm more than happy to do that when I can. So we've had a few hands like this. I know you won't have seen them now, but just not very exciting openers. Not very explosive. I think we mulligan. This hand's even worse. Mulligan this one. Keep this one. Land on top. Boom. Okay, we're getting there. So we're going to lead on Neonate. Ooh. Basic full art island. And hope to not get force spiked. So this deals less damage over time. Actually, no, it deals more damage over time this way. But it's really more about Wanderwine hubs. This is Merfolk. Blue-white Merfolk. That's not even the new phase. Maybe they're doing Bant. Oh my god. Is Bant Merfolk a thing? We're about to find out. This is exciting. This is exciting. I'm excited. Silvergill Adept, revealed card zone. I assume they're going to cast it as well. So, Branchwalker. Okay, so they are playing freaking Bant Merfolk. That is hilarious. Okay. This is going to be an interesting one. So I think our line here is to discard 2. That's 2, 4, and this is 5, 6. Sure. Oh, dang it. Can't get there that way. So what we need to do is draw a land or something else. We can play one hollow one, but I want to play both. I guess discarding a hollow one to play a 4/4 is probably just fine. Actually, let's play it this way. Steam Vents. I'm probably going to regret that. Boom, boom. Yeah, okay. Let's discard Neonate. Do we want the third land? No, let's discard Bloodstained Mire. Gets us as close. Well, let's cast this for free. Could also go for this, and if we draw another hollow one, sorry, not cast, then we're doing it. Okay, we did not draw another hollow one. Okay, but we got a 4/4 out and a Lightning Bolt. This hand looks a whole lot better. We get to Chart a Course next turn as well. This is what I was saying in the deck tech. Chart a Course after you kind of card disadvantage yourself to hell to just cast out a hollow one. Ooh, okay, this is great. Block. I block. Do we bolt first? Nah, I think we attack. Let's see if they try to double block. Nah. Okay, so I think we're okay taking 5 here. At most, it's 6, 7. So let's just chart our courses. Play a Copperline Gorge. Neonate's fine. Neonate or Bolt. I guess we'll just Bolt. We'll save the Neonate for a potential Vengevine that we might draw off this Faithless Looting. So if this was a mulligan to 6, we would have had 2 hollow ones out because we could have been able to. We wouldn't have had to discard that last hollow one, but I think we're doing all right here, right? We know they have a Branch Walker, but that is it. We also know that their first lord that they played was the Regery, so maybe they don't have another one. Oh well, not only do they have another lord, they have another Regery. Okay, accidentally F2'd there. That could come back to bite us. 5, 6, 7. So at most, well, I guess at most we're dead if they have 2 lords in hand. I don't think it's all that likely. If they had 2 lords in hand, they would have played them. So let's loot here. It's kind of disappointing. I guess it's not that bad. We can just cast it next turn. We'll play the Neonate. So 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We're coming in for 9. I like that. I think I'm going to keep the Street Wraith around for this Faithless Looting. This might be a matchup that we want to play Blood Moon in, hilariously. Merfolk went from being a deck that is not affected at all by Blood Moon. Interesting. So they're going to double Regery here. Tap my... Okay. It wasn't a Merfolk on the stack, so they can't tap. So here... Let's see, this is Branch Walker, so yeah, they will tap. Oh, they're not going to tap. Just going to empty their hand. So I think my line actually was, once they had played this Silvergill, or sorry, this Phantasmal Image with it on the stack, I think my line was to sacrifice or discard this Street Wraith, or just cycle it and attempt to hit a bolt of some sort. Looks like we're losing this one though, boys. Sure. So this, wow, so they have another 2-mana board? Yeah, this hand was great. This hand was real good. Okay, so they're gonna insult to injury here. Wow, they have another card to cast. That's insane. So they still haven't tapped me. I mean, we're dead on board. I guess they don't have to now that they have Master. Boop. Yeah, we'll just have, well, we'll see what we would have drawn. Sure. Alright, that is lethal. Unless we can somehow get rid of our now 2 islands. Okay. So, maybe Blood Moon isn't all that great because they're running Aether Vial. But I do think we are racing here, so I'm going to get out all my aggro cards. Blood Moon is a maybe. Stubborn Denial is a no-be. What's bad? We could just get rid of our blue cards and try to never play an island. I think if we only have access to one, we want Charter Course. I think I like this. Blood Moon we could bring in. It'd be our turn 3, their turn 2. It slows them down a whole lot. Maybe that's just okay. What's their white mana? What's white for? Maybe they're just splashing for Path. Because I know Sig is a Merfolk that has been played. So maybe let's cut out the Charter Course entirely for a Blood Moon. They're probably just going to Spreading Seas this anyways, but no reason to deal ourselves damage. Like, let's just cut the blue out entirely for this matchup. We don't want to... This is a keeper too, sadly. So we do give them Island Walk. I guess it's not 100% a keeper, but I think a potential... Well, it's not even a potential... Let's cast this first Faithless Looting. I think double Faithless Looting Street Wraith is just something we need to be keeping. Especially with the Vengevine in hand. This could very easily go off. So let's discard Flamewake, Vengevine. Hope to draw into one creature next turn, and then we can get out Vengevine. I like that. Flooded Strand, wow. Street Wraith. Creature, what mana? What mana creature? Let's Street Wraith. 1 mana creature. 1 mana creature right here. I guess even we have a whole lot of hits here. There it is. Even Hollow one would have worked. So Swift Spear. We just dealt ourselves a butt and a half of damage, but we did our thing. We did our thing. Vengevine, get in there. Let's crack in for 5 here. You gotta be willing to spin the wheel with this deck. And I almost wasn't. This is almost a coward stream, but not today. Grim is phenomenal too. Like, I think unless the opponent has a sweeper, I think we're running away with this one. I guess an answer to Grim is pretty good as well. Nope. Vengevine will get in there for 2 turns, and then they can Stonewall with their lords, but we have a Lightning Bolt. So, things are coming up, Andrew. Whew. And you know we got those double coffee mugs, because we go through a lot of coffee here. Alright. Opponent gets their white source, which they apparently need. I'm interested to see what the blue is for. Sorry, I know what the blue is for. I'm interested to see what the white is for. Really hope they just jam a Lord here. I want to Grim it. I want to Grim it so bad. Branchwalker. What does... Ooh, okay, so they have a Lord in hand, or a Lord on top of their library. I'm sure they're not... They bend it. They bend it. That's insane. Why would you ever do that? What? Just gonna get a... I guess we do need a green source. I don't really need access to all this mana, though, and I'd like to not... I guess I shouldn't have fetched. I didn't need to. I think opponent misclicked. Maybe not. Yeah, because we have mandrills. So No, we are going to shock ourselves. 1, 2. So let's just have Lightning Bolt up on their turn. I would love to cast this thing. Okay, opponent is on a 2-turn clock. 1 turn now. This deck is explosive. Though if we don't draw the Swift Spear, this game turns out a whole lot different. But that's why we run a million 2-drops. Yeah, we got there. We got there, fam. Sorry, 1-drops. A million 1-drops. I'm very happy with this Blood Moon. The question is, would I be happier with 2 of them? I think the answer is no. Like, what do we cut? Become Immense or something? I think all those cards are better than the second Blood Moon. Alright, if one of these was a fetch, it'd be a little better, but I think we're alright here. Turn 1 looting. 3 cards in the graveyard. 4, 5. Ooh, we're 1 away from a turn 2 Mandrills. Hollow 1. Yep. See what we draw. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, we could play 2 Hollow Ones next turn. Let's bin 1 Cathartic Reunion and 1 Mandrills, I guess. Wow. Insane. This deck is insane. When you get the double, when you're allowed to play, freaking, we could almost play this. If we could play at least on turn 3. We could, without beyond a shadow of a doubt, we could play all. We could land all 3 of these cards. That's insane. Turn 2, we'll have 2 of these. We can lead up with that afterwards. If the opponent has a counterspell here, they get us. But other than that, we're gonna have 8 power and play on turn 2 against Merfolk. I think that's pretty good. Ooh, alright, well, we're never casting that. But if that's how opponent wants to attack this matchup... Ooh, let's do this. Let's do this the other way. This was almost... I guess we could have discarded that, but let's cycle. We're discarding double Mandrills. Awesome. Boom. Boom. Get out of here, Mandrills. No one likes you. I do. I like Mandrills a lot. I guess they're also cutting off our Vengevines. But that's the brilliant thing about this deck, is that, well, we can just hardcast these. We can't hardcast our Mandrills, but, like, massive graveyard hate is good against us, but it doesn't just win on the spot, because we have other avenues of winning. Like, if that's why they kept this hand, they're going to be in for a rude awakening with double Hollow One. Next turn, if we draw land, I'm just going to slam Flame Wake. I don't think there's anything they can do. And we're not getting an island. That makes me want to not do that. We can Lightning Bolt a Lord next turn. Snow covered because we're cool. Crack in for 10, no big deal. So opponent, I guess, is splashing white. Just for cards like Rest in Peace. I'm sure they have Path as well. Just for more to shore up matchups. No blocks. Curious. But not all that curious, right? I mean, they soak up 4 damage and then they're still dead if they don't have something else next turn. I wonder if they have access to Settle the Wreckage or something bonkers like that. I kind of want to ask them. Settle the Wreckage seems great in an aggressive deck. So Harbinger gets rid of one of my Hollow Ones. Real sad. but otherwise we can get in for 6 here for lethal. They have to block. They might double block, and then we can blow them out. We could also just play this Flamewake Phoenix. I don't hate that. Does this change anything? Yeah, it does. We could go with Vengevine, but I think this is better. Holding up Lightning Bolt, I think, is better. It's worse against Dispel, but they have to deal with both of these now. And even if they have a Dispel for this Lightning Bolt, they're losing their Lord. I think we want to do it on our opponent's turn. Because we're playing around Dispel specifically. If they have like Unified Will, then so be it. We tie up 2 mana on their turn. They have a path here, it looks like. But I do think Merfolk's plan A, as long as, you know, we don't vomit out our hand, is good. Okay. So we're just going to let this happen. I mean, Unified Will doesn't even work against us because it's 2 versus 1. Yep. My kind of block. Another reason not to bolt there. Is because damage works that way in Magic. So we're bolting on the upkeep, not for BM, just to tie down their mana on their turn if they have a lightning bolt, if they have a Dispel. Like there's no reason to do it on our end step and allow them to have more mana on their turn. This is optimal against Merfolk. Like if what we're playing around is specifically 1 mana counterspell and they already had access to it, doing it on their upkeep is the right move there. If they had a negate or something, they get us. But negate, like, I don't think that's worth playing around in that situation because then we just win unless they have something. I don't know. I can't even imagine. Like, tying down 2 mana on their turn is really good. So, yep. We're going to take a pause here, and then I will be back for the last 2 rounds. All right. And pause. And we're back, and I have a belly full of spaghetti. So, 2 good things. Oh, sorry for that potentially weird audio sound. All right, so let's just finish up the last couple matches so we can finally get this uploaded. Got someone right away. Make sure in Temur Hollow one. I didn't change anything in between rounds because we had essentially just 2 games of experience. And I think Blood Moon is fine. Okay. So this is a turn 2 hollow one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we can lead on Swift Spear, so we can maximize damage, which is awesome. I think it's best for us to bolt ourselves here. Is that ever right? Probably not. Okay, we're shocking. Plus, our opponent is not going to know what is hitting them. They probably think we're like a blue prowess list. Where's the chat? Didn't mean to close it. Plus, we have an upkeep stop there that we accidentally had, so opponent's going to be like, weird prowessy list with upkeep stops. Tons of instants. Windswept Heath into Forest. I guess it's Ponza. That's my guess. So we could just fetch a mountain here. We don't need 2. This can discard a Neonate. So yeah, let's fetch mountain. We only have basic mountain, so they're going to be able to cut us off of green pretty easily. Then we're going to cycle. Maybe we hit something we wanted, makes us do something differently. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So let's Faithless Looting. I should have saved the fetch or got a green source because there's a world. Oh, wow. So we're gonna discard this and a Street Wraith. Sure. We can save the Street Wraith because we're not doing anything else this turn besides casting Neonate and Hollow One. I guess we should cycle it, right? Because then we might get another Hollow One. Okay. We do not. Do we want to... I think we should probably actually do this. Because we might, just because we might get another Hollow One. Ooh. Well, we can discard that next turn. That's unfortunate. We actually might be at the point in the game where we want to keep Vengevine in hand. Okay, so it's not Ponza. Huh. What green-white deck plays Arbor Elf? Green-white Ponza? Herald of the... Ah, so this is like an Enchantress deck? Interesting. Herald of the Pantheon. Commune with the gods. Almost as good as communing with dinosaurs, am I right? I believe they just grabbed... What did they grab? Course of Crucifix. Okay. Yeah. I'm less worried about my life total now. Maybe I should be. But I want green sources. We're going to keep this if nothing great. Oh, wow. Decisions. Well, we can get rid of double Vengevine, discard whatever we draw next turn, and hope we get creatures. Or we get rid of one Vengevine and a land. Or one Vengevine and a Cathartic Reunion? Nah. I think we're supposed to get rid of double Vengevine. This Herald of the Pantheon is actually kind of a boner. Being a 2/2 here, because it's going to be hard for our... Swiftspear just can't attack from here on out. So my gamble here is that we will draw into creatures. Otherwise, getting just casting a 4/3 next turn isn't bad. I assume they're going Courser here. They'll have enough power and toughness that we can only trade Hollow One for Courser, but I think we have to make that attack anyways. In other news, I think I found out at least where my audio errors have been coming in, and they're not coming in from the mic because I've experienced some popping. I'm plugged into the mic right now. My headset is. I've experienced popping when I'm plugged in. 5 mana, so it could be my audio. One of my cards, Sigil. Oh wow! So they're just and they have enough, and they have mana. That's insane. So they get to play Sigil here, which if you don't know, whenever they cast enchantment spells, they get 4/4 Angels, which is pretty dang good against our 4/4 Hollow Ones. And Courser is castable here because of Herald of the Pantheon, and it's also an enchantment. So yeah, I think we're just dead here. I think we're just dead. That's insane. This is an amazing card for them too. They'll have their engine online, essentially, with Sigil and Eidolon. Or Eidolon. So we can cast Cathartic Reunion. We have to discard the Hollow One. And we're essentially saying that we want to draw another Hollow One. Or 2 1/1s. And I think that means we should just wait a turn. 2 1-mana creatures to... See, if we trigger Vengevine here, say we get the nuts on this Cathartic Reunion, and we get 2... I guess we get a Hollow One or 1 drop, so that's how many? We have 2 hollow ones left, and we have 6 1-drops left. I guess it could also be a Mandrills. So that's 4 Mandrills, 2 hollow ones, 6. That's 12. 12, and we're 3 out of 40. Dang, I feel like this is where I plug in my hypergeometric calculator. I think we're still good to wait a turn. Because then we have a hollow one in hand, so we'll be able to cast that. The downside is, you know, we are just kind of dead here. Okay, they don't have a land. I guess that's good. Well, land on top of their library. So they definitely can cast the Eidolon of Blossoms. Man, my brother had such a sweet Eidolon of Blossoms deck in Thera Standard. But this is a bit more powerful than that. I'm assuming they're running prison elements as well, like Ghostly Prison. Oh, there's the forest. So they have access to 1, 2, 3, 4 mana plus a 1 mana reducer for enchantments. It looks like they don't have anything? Question mark? So every enchantment they play draws them a card. Thankfully, that's not an enchantment. Okay, so we're going to hold up green because that gives us more outs to have a creature. So we just need a creature here. Castable creature. I think that does it. This is going to be a bonkers turn. Does it do it? How much are these? 1. Okay, so that's fine. Otherwise, we'd have to discard one of them, and that sounds bad. I guess we're just dead, though, aren't we? Yeah. Kind of forgot about that. Well, let's just... is there any way out of it? Lightning Bolt doesn't do it, because we've taken 8 in the air. We need them to... respect this 1 mana being Become Immense, I think. Because, I mean, they're just... If we cast this hollow one and we're tapped out, they're going to... Maybe that was right. They have 4 creatures. They have 3 creatures? No, they really only need to block 1. We're just dead here. So yeah, we could have played a hollow one and got 2 Vengevines out, but they just jump here and attack with their 8/8s, with their 2 4/4s. So we dealt ourselves just enough damage. So they need... If they block with this Angel token, then I'm going to be kicking myself. They should block this. Okay, yeah. Yeah, that's fine. Concede the game. So yeah, we were just dead on the crackback. Opponent would have had to make extraordinarily subpar blocks. Well, Sigil just absolutely demolishes us. Thankfully, we're quick, so we can hopefully get it down, or get stuff down in time before that becomes an issue. So I think we want all of these cards. We might even want this too, just to shorten the game by a turn and a half or so. Stubborn Denial is probably the weakest of them. We need to deal with their mana creatures. I'll bring it in though, because it is still potentially good. What's the weakest? Flamewake Phoenix might be the weakest thing we've got here. Is this cast or is it Return to Battlefield? Return to Battlefield. If it was cast, I'd be very hesitant to ever cut it, just because it's another way to trigger Vengevine. Opponent did see Vengevine, and they are a white enchantment-based deck, so maybe maybe we want to just cut the Vengevine aspect of our deck. I'm assuming they have Rest in Peace. Well, if they do have Rest in Peace, Vengevine and Mandrills are the weakest of our cards. But I think we want to keep some aspect of our explosion. I think we're going to just hedge like this. Well, this gives us our quickest Mandrills as well. Lightning Axe is there just as another 1-mana removal spell. So 4, 5, 6, 7. This is tough. I suppose we could get rid of Chartercourse. Alright, let's keep all of our explosive aspects, and we'll get rid of all of our grindier stuff. Become Immense is good, but if they're attacking our graveyard, we should be a bit hesitant to get into that. And 3 more cards. Mandrills. Just because it's almost impossible to cast. Sure. So we're kind of half playing around their graveyard hate, half... We're playing around their graveyard hate while maintaining the Vengevine explosion aspect of our deck. This is alright. Lead on Swift Spear into Neonate, or we can lead on Neonate into Swift Spear. Holding up Stubborn Denial, sure. I think I'm going to hold on to the Neonate, though. Well, no. Yeah, I am going to hold on to the Neonate. We're going to go... This is going to be 100% saved for Vengevines, etc. And we're just going to hold up Stubborn Denial on turn 2 for them. Opponent deciding if they want to mulligan. The Arbor Elf draws for them are going to be very hard for us. Especially, like, I think that was pretty close to their nut draw. They could probably, I think if they could stack their deck, they might change up a few things. We're going to try to be more conservative with our life total, so let's shock immediately. I guess we could have fetched Mountain, but I want these both to get green sources because we're not guaranteed to draw another fetch, and casting our Vengevines is something we might end up doing. I suppose we can play Neonate and still have Stubborn Denial up. That might be the way to go. This is a very unexciting hand, though. We are just 1 Street Wraith away. Okay, this hand's getting a lot more exciting. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So not next turn. But the turn after. Definitely attacking. For 1 hollow one. We kind of want to get more aggressive than that. I guess let's cast it. The reason I want to hold it is because 1 damage isn't all that much, and we really want to save it. We want access to the discard effect. Okay. That's annoying, but not the worst. Stomping Ground. Ooh. Come on, Cathartic Reunion or something. Cathartic Reunion getting down 2 4/4s. Yes, please. Yes, please. Interesting, they're red too. So I guess it's a Naya enchantments list. I wonder what the red's for. Oh man, if they sideboard into like Anger of the Gods right here, Anger of the Gods would be quite good. I mean, assuming we don't have Stubborn Denial, which we do. Opponent with the upkeep stop. No mana floating. Just give the old boop. Grinder dot. Let's get this party rolling. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5/6. Okay, so that's pretty great. Whew. I think we're gonna just. I think we don't need it, right? So this currently costs 3. It will cost 1. We'll tap both of those, or both of these, I guess. We'll save Cathartic Reunion. I guess no reason not to. Sure. Ooh, I guess we'll discard Cathartic Reunion. Faithless Looting. How far down the rabbit hole do we go? I guess we'll cast it. Oh, baby. So now we have to discard the Stubborn Denial, which is unfortunate. But I think this is a little bit worth it. 1, 2, 3. Oh! That was good. That was pretty dang good. I don't know about you guys. Opponent assembled Tron. Sure. Nyx Fleece Ram. Hilariously does... it does blank this. Our assault. We just get in for 5 next turn. So, you know, kind of doing it. Opponent deciding if they want to declare attackers. They decided against it. Come on, something. Stubbs. Stubbs is good. Good enough that I'm not going to bother with this looting. So, because of their Nyx Fleece Rams, with the board state as is, we could only deal them 3 damage a turn. But that's still pretty good. Yeah, that has to resolve. And that resolves too. Bottlenecked on green. Their red better be very important. So Herald actually makes it so we can't attack, annoyingly enough, with Swiftbeer. Opponent once again deciding if they want to attack with their Rams, which are not defenders. They decided against it. I still agree with that line. I think this is better off just being discarded. So we're opening ourselves up to something happening here, but I think getting in damage at this point is where we want to be, and casting this helps that happen. Discard Vendrine, and I think we have to keep Neonate. Lightning Bolt's not doing much on this board. 1, 2. They already have. Well, I suppose it is doing a lot, but what do we value more? I guess we value Lightning Bolt more because it gets rid of their Rams, so we'll get rid of Stub. I swear the blue in this deck is good, right? I keep discarding it. So that could bite me in the butt big time. But the reason I'm discarding it is A, we're tapped out. B, what we're playing, if they have Sigil again, well, they get to play it. But they get to play it this turn anyways. And if they have it in hand, they're going to get to play it because we're tapped out. So block, nothing. Take 6, gain 2. We did 4 damage that turn. We're getting there. And so then we're just playing, if we were keeping the Stubborn Denial, we're playing around them drawing into it. And at that point, we want this game to be over before they draw any more cards. Obviously, that's not going to happen, but I think it's better to keep the proactive spell rather than the reactive in this situation. Long story short. If they just slam a board wipe here, I'll be very sad. What is that? I don't even know what that is. Wow, whenever you gain life, pay 2. Deals 2 damage to our creature player. And they attack for 2. Savage. Would love to have a creature here. This deck is insane. Okay. Any reason to pre-combat this? Yeah, we could draw. We could draw another creature. So we're gonna discard this Bloodstained Mire. Come on, creature. Boom! Hold open, doesn't matter. Now we're cooking. Grim Lavamancer is a great draw here. Let's see what kind of blocks happen before I decide what I want to bolt. But I think bolt's probably going to end up just going Dome. Nah, never mind. We're going to get rid of the Nyx Fleece. So it's 4, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yeah, sure. We're going to make it so they can't start getting rid of my hollow ones. With Searing Meditation. They could have spent their whole turn attempting to remove hollow ones. Or one hollow one. Okay, they're drawing Windswept Heath for the turn. That's great. Don't have the mana for that. But they can do it now if they want. I've never even seen this before. Tap and gain 1 life. Activate this ability only if you control 2. Opponent with the deep cuts. I really dig this deck. It's not necessarily my style of deck, but I'm loving the innovation. And it's fetchable? Didn't even see that. So, pretty glad we got rid of the Nyx Fleece because they would have had a decent bit of... They would have kind of went off. So they're going to try to get rid of one of our hollow ones? Sure. But then we still have 2 hollow ones to attack. One gets blanked by Nyx Fleece. Man, getting rid of that Grim is actually pretty good. This card's insane against us. At least right now. This is... wow, this deck is so cool. So we have 3 attackers. They have 3 blockers. But I don't think they're blocking with either one of these. But I guess they have to because it's lethal. Yep. We don't have another... Unfortunate. Wow. So let's get rid of the thing that deals life. Like pretty happy they're blocking with that. So opponent can gain 2 life next turn. So they can get rid of Hollow One. And yeah, I think we're actually locked out. If they go for Hollow One, and they do. This is 0 fun for me. 100% fun for opponent. Our draw was actually pretty great too. Like it wasn't necessarily the strongest 7, but we drew quite well. Oh man, I didn't even realize that this gains a life with enchantment spell. Read the card, Andrew. I mean, either way, I think Courser is a little bit better, especially when they have infinite mana right now. No blocks. Faithless Looting's great. Yeah. We can't hardcast Vengevine anyways, so I think it's okay. We'll discard both of these. Get our attack on. Well, I guess we could actually not. There's no reason to. Looking for... Oh. Should have done that pre-combat. Wow, that's max punishment. No reason to loot in here. Just discard both cards we draw. Okay. So we're close here. Opponent's gaining unfortunate amounts of life. But we're close. Okay, so I don't think opponent noticed my Flamewake Phoenix in the yard, which is good for us. Because I think they would have gotten rid of my Vengevine if they had. Well, that's just better. Yeah, so they should be at 6, and we should have a Flamewake on the battlefield. They'd probably cast it out, because they don't have any flyers currently. So we'd have a Vengevine here that could block these guys. So the upshot of it is that we'd be at 6 still, and not facing down lethal next turn. I think Faithless Looting's better. Yeah, we're just dead. Have to draw a gorilla. Nope. Alright. Did we even have any in? Yeah, we had one. Alright, opponent got us. I think... First of all, I think that deck is insanely sweet. But I don't think it's the worst. Like, it's basically, it is a race, and I think I sideboarded poorly. I didn't even know, if I'd known about the entirety context of the deck, I think I wouldn't have been as afraid of Rest in Peace as I would have been as afraid of that freaking Boros Meditation card. That thing was bonkers against us. Very sweet brew, though, for the opponent. Nothing but respect for that. I've never seen that before. Usually when you see Enchantress decks in Modern, it's all... The engine is all there. That's all the same. But certainly no red. And it's usually like Ghostly Prison and just Prison. It's just a big prison deck that draws you a lot of cards for playing enchantments. Enchantment Tribal, I suppose. But yeah, like that was a sweet way to take it. Sweet indeed. In fact, would Blood Moon have been alright against them? I think it's too risky. I do think we 100% wanted all the cards I brought in, and I think we wanted to find space for it to become immense as well. Either getting rid of the... I think we keep the explosion. I think we probably do go down on... I don't know. It's hard to sideboard a lot because this deck is very... it's an engine that you don't really want to mess with. Like, the cards that are easiest to sideboard out are the blue ones, and I don't even know if it's right. So maybe something like this. Those cards. 6 for 6. It could be maybe that we want to get rid of Cathartic Reunion. Instead, just say that Thought Scour is... it's an easier enabler of Hooting Mandrills if we're keeping them. I don't know. I don't know what the right move is. It could be that we just don't want Lightning Bolts. Stuff like Lightning Axe. Just rely on our creatures being big, and if they draw Arbor Elf plus Utopia Sprawl, so be it. I think actually, yeah, I do like that. I like that a little better. Then we bring in these 4. I think we keep the bolts in because they go dome. And sideboard out chart. Well, the game's gonna go long, so I think Chart a Course is actually good. And they have to have Rest in Peace, so I think we probably do cut down on Mandrills over Vengevine, just because basically uncastable if we don't have access to our graveyard. So these 2. And I like Flamewake as fine. But we could sideboard that out, or maybe just 2 Thought Scours. Probably just 2 Thought Scours. I think after talking it over for what seems like an infinity, that's what I would do if faced with that deck again. Alright, let's end this one on W. WW. Sure thing. So we're gonna hold on to this Faithless Looting. Just play Scalding Tarn, pass. If we didn't, I suppose this is a turn. What is that? 1, 2, 3, 4. This is a turn 2 Hooting Mandrills. And I suppose it still is, even if we wait. So we'll just see what happens. We will just excuse me. We'll just see. Ooh, Dredge versus Hollow One. I think we win that one. We'll get Steam Vents. Discard spell. Ooh. Alright. Faithless Looting. Let's see what we get. Get rid of Tarn Neonate. Play a Hollow One. Sure. Could have been Chart a Course. 1 mana 4/4. Activate. Next turn, play Mandrills. Could have also discarded a Mandrills. Ooh, Narcomoeba. Okay. Golgari Thug. We're just trying to fade the Death Touchers. Bloodghast. All this stuff is fine. As long as they don't go insane in the first couple of turns, our 4/4s are going to be forlicious, in a word. Stinkweed, dang it. Alright. Unfortunate. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we're gonna probably have to bolt the Stinkweed Imp. 2 turns from now, whenever they cast it. Alright, Swift Spear. I think we save. Definitely attack. Mandrills gets rid of our looting, which I don't love. Chart a Course, looking to YOLO land. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 14 lands left. Don't like those odds. Well, we just missed out on a damage if I don't do this. Are we ever going to looting any of this crap, though? Probably. I think getting down to Mandrills is just too good. Just too good. It stinks. I don't want to get rid of my lootings. Next turn, we will Swift Spear Bolt the Stinkweed Imp, assuming that's what happens. Bloodghast not being able to block is so good. Oh, Conflagrate. That conflagrates things. So they do have the Stinkweed Imp. I think we just I think we just let this happen because we have lethal if they don't play the Imp. As is, we put them to pretty close to dead. All right, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They can attack us for 5. Conflagrate is dealing us currently 1, 4. So they put us to 2. Okay, that's not dead. and then we just win. We win if they don't have a way to somehow get 2 more cards. But I don't think they do. I could be missing something. But I think we just showed them who the true hollow one was. I guess they don't have hollow one, but who the true deck that kind of relies on the graveyard was. It might have been a free block because we knew they had to cast Narcomoeba. They could have conflagrated one of our 4/4s away, I guess. I don't know. It does make our life total more precarious that we didn't block there. That might be the play that gets us the most. Ooh, what's this? So they're gonna get back a prized amalgam. Wow. So they're gonna make us discard our whole hand if they want. But I think they need that blocker more than they need anything else. Life from the Loam, is that it? 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. No, we're at 1. We're at 1. Ooh, I was pretty scared there for a sec. That was the one card, like, they didn't have one in the graveyard, so I don't think there was a reason to play around it. But they apparently had, I think, 2 in hand. Okay, this makes more sense. Okay. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Not where I want to be. Don't want to be dead. So let's just draw 2, discard. So discard Flamewake Phoenix. Wait a sec. Do they have another Conflagrate? 1, 2, 1, 2. Are we dead? 4, 8. We can put them to 1. How insane is that? So yeah. I do think we bring it back. Yeah. I guess we had to attack there with at least this. But even then, 1, 2, 3. Yeah. So yeah, we were dead to Conflagrate. We were just with half a turn too slow. 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah. Insane that they had 2. They had a great hand. All right. Well, thankfully we have the Ravenous Trap. I don't think anything else is really does anything for me. Charter Course is a bit too slow. Stubborn Denial doesn't do too much. Lavamancer is interesting to me. I guess Stubborn Denial gets rid of Conflagrate, which is the biggest card, the card that gets us the most. But I think we can fade it. I like Thought Scour here. It just helps us be aggressive. Maybe Cathartic Reunion's a little too slow. It's our best hollow one enabler. But it is turn 3 hollow one. This is rough. Sideboarding with this deck is really rough. I don't know if you've noticed. Become Immense might just be good too. Just cut a Thought Scour. Can't even mind. Oh. I don't know if we got there. Why can't we submit? Moto, please! Okay, here we go. Important text message, sorry. Could be anything. I think you keep Faithless Looting Hands. Lead on Street Wraith or Looting? Let's lead on Looting. Land. Pass. That's fortuitous. We might just be hardcasting this. Okay, Bolt's not the worst. Alright, we're gonna... Okay, if we don't cash in Street Wraith... Okay, let's do this. We're gonna roll the dice here with Cathartic. Actually, undo. Cycle first. Okay, now we're rolling the dice with the Cathartic. It's either Bolt or Neonate. And I think Lightning Bolt is what it is. Cast that. And we'll pass. It's good to keep a Street Wraith in reserve. We're gonna go with Neonate Bloodwake Phoenix, I think. We get so punished if our next card is Hollow One, though. I think we probably should have cycled. Yeah. Oh, double Narcomoeba. Ooh, I shouldn't have 6 here. We also get punished if our next card is Ravenous Trap. That is going to be actually huge. We definitely should have cycled. That's the biggest pun of all time. So let's cycle. Okay. Neonate. Swift Spear. Actually, let's just go... Yeah, we do want Neonate. Just because we want to have access to this Flame Wake. Alright, we're valuing our life total here. Whoa, almost got ahead of myself. Yes, please. Alright, opponent. I know you have Conflagrate in hand, but I think we're doing it. I hope we're doing it. I'd like to not get Raffle stomped in the last 2 matches. Well, they conflagrated for 0? Which means they're setting up a big time kill next turn, I suppose. I mean, conflagrate in the yard is worth more than anything, I suppose. Would really like to see... I suppose, actually a conflagrate right then is worth more than anything. Would really like to see... Vengevine? We'll just cast that next turn. We have another looting. I guess we can discard it. I'd really like to see Ravenous Trap. Illegal attack, my butt. So they're gonna loam or dredge back loam. We're holding the Swift Spear because we have hopes of Vengevinding. Nature's Claim. Well, I guess it's for our hollow ones. That's fair. Dark Blast isn't that great, though. So opponent cracks in for 5. We hopefully crack in for 1, 2, 3, 7. Depending on what creature we get. Would really like a creature with high power and toughness. So we can block next turn. Yeah, I think we're just dead. Yeah. Boom, boom. Can't cast this. We did. Opponent's got Conflagrate in the grave. Oh, no, they don't. They don't. So we're not dead. We're just at 1. Which is the worst kind of not dead. Because it makes you keep playing. Double Conflagrate get you every time. I guess if we had, yeah, I think I didn't sideboard well at all this series, and I will apologize for that. I think we should have had Stubborn Denial in over at least a few Lightning Bolts. I think Lightning Bolt is just, sure it has reach, but it's far too medium. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We are just dead. Contrary to what I stated mere seconds ago. Yeah, so I didn't do too hot, at least in that last matchup. I should have definitely done something like this at least. Take out the Chart of Course, bring in the Ravenous Traps. Cut 1 Thought Scour. Become Immense is fine. Cutting Mandrills? I don't like that. I think Mandrills is one of our better cards. Suppose we cut Neonate. I don't know. It's maybe we cut a Flame Wake. Sure, I like this. We could also just not bring in Become Immense. I think it is good, but yeah. It's a rough deck to sideboard and play with. Sideboard especially because of there's really, like, you have an engine. You don't really want to touch your Faithless Lootings, your 1-drops. You can touch your 1-drops, but then you should probably shave some Vengevines. How good is Vengevine in the matchup? Well, I mean, every decision you make has a cascading set of consequences on how your deck plays out. That's true for every Magic deck, but for something like this, it's double true, triple true even. So we have cards that are, I guess Flame Wake's never blocking, so probably Flame Wake is just bad. And we should keep in Thought Scour. Plus a Bolt. I guess Flame Wake is better than Lightning Bolt. Is that true? I don't know. But yeah, like, it's little things like that. You can't really... It's like sideboarding with Affinity. You can't sideboard too much or else you've ruined your deck, essentially. But there are you really do want those cards. Like, I think we really do need Stubborn Denial. It's just Conflagrate gets us so good, as you saw. If opponent doesn't draw Conflagrate, or I guess mill Conflagrate, or have it in hand. If the opponent doesn't have access to Conflagrate in those games, we win handily. Like, Conflagrate's great against creature-based strategies, and we should do what we can to try to counteract that. And bringing in 5 cards that are good against Conflagrate, I think, is where you want to be. Ravenous Trap is phenomenal against Dredge. We just didn't draw it. We should have cycled that Street Wraith earlier to hopefully get it. We ended up not being in the cards for us. So there's that, but that's no excuse for not playing suboptimally. What is in here that shouldn't be? Comments. But yeah, I despite sideboarding out the blue, I think I sideboarded out the blue a lot of the time because of my unfamiliarity with the deck. I think those cards might be close to untouchable, and it's more about finding which one of Vengevine, Flamewake Phoenix, or Hooting Mandrills I think is worse in the matchup. Before you even touch these, I think Thought Scour is actually even over Charter Course is very good. And a lot of times, I think you don't even probably need to sideboard. I think I probably over sideboarded. I think this deck is good. Obviously, it's very explosive and very powerful. If you draw well, it's going to be outside of Anger of the Gods or ramping into a Supreme Verdict. It's going to be almost impossible to beat this deck's best draws, and that's why you play a deck like this. We didn't get any of those draws, really. And the one time we did, our opponent out-janked us with some awesome enchantments, and that was cool for them, and also for you guys. But yeah, we saw more of the downsides, I would say, to a build like this. Even considering perfect sideboarding, I think we're losing that last game anyways. So yeah, I mean, I don't think Temur Hollow One is necessarily broken the meta. I was kind of, I don't know. I didn't think it had. I was just hoping that it was going to completely blow my socks off. But it's definitely a good Magic deck. It's just not blowing my socks off. It's okay. It's okay for a deck to do that. I think the blue is good. I think Stubborn Denial is great. We didn't get any of the matchups where it was really phenomenal in. But stuff like Storm or whatnot, I played a practice match against Storm, which I wish now that I had recorded, where we stubbed them a few times, and that was phenomenal. We actually stubborned and Ravenous Trap, which was great. So we had that going for us. But I think the 6, quote-unquote, Faithless Looting effects are very good in this deck. Charter Course is nice, just as Faithless Looting 5 and 6, essentially. I don't think even, except for like when you're empty-handed late game, or late game, I don't think you want to even try to trigger Raid, I suppose, on Charter Course. You just want to be discarding cards actively with it. But it's good that it has that second mode, because there are points in the game where drawing 2 cards in matchups is really good. And obviously, I think the blue is good. Thought Scour enables Vengevine, Hooting Mandrills, and even Flamewake Phoenix. Like, I think Temur is good. I just think that these matches didn't go so well. the last two at least. The first one was good. But yeah, that's Temur Hollow One. Let me know what you think in the comments. I'm trying to put together, I've got a little list here of decks to play tomorrow and decks to play in the future. So if you guys have anything you want to see, I'll add it to the list. I do have it's a running list for as long as I've had this channel. So there are, if you've suggested a deck, it's already on there. I've like Devotion to Zombies, that's in the list. It's coming, and so is Mono Red Burn. And there's a few more that were suggested. I'd have to go through it, but those have been suggested again recently in the comments. And I just wanted you guys to know I haven't forgotten about you or your decks. It's just it's been a bit busy outside of my recording life recently, but we will. I've heard you. I've heard my deck suggestions, and we'll get around to you all in due time. But probably not next week. Maybe the week after. We'll see. But we will get to them. Anyways, that's Andrew signing off for Too Fun. Hope you guys are having a lovely day. Hope you enjoyed watching me get my face stomped in. And I'll see you around. All right. Bye, everyone. Bye.